Hello, everybody, and welcome to another installment of the Time Travel Baseball League. We are playing out the relevant two games to determine who will be the fourth and final team to make the playoffs. The Futurists punched their ticket a while ago, 95 and 59. The Wings, winning 83, won the other division. The Stars at 82-72 are going to be the best wildcard team, so they get the Wings in a semifinal series. And the Explorers and the Sultans are fighting it out for the last playoff spot at 78 and 75. We decided to do these two games at night, and we're going to do them back to back. We'll go through the results of earlier play. We moved all the other games to day games. Futurist 6-5 over the Aces. Randy Johnson over Grover Alexander. The Ironman 7-3 over the Wings. Carl Hubble over Dick Donovan. The Spitfires 8-6 over the Niners. Newhouser over Kurt Schilling. And the Stars 9-6 over the Pioneers. Quisenberry over John Clarkson. And Robin Yount had a big day, going 5 for 5. Travis Jackson of the Ironmen had a 3-hit day, 2 home runs in the win for the Ironmen over the Wings, which will not be enough for them to make the playoffs. We're at Ebbets Field in Brooklyn, 1927 statistics. And we will say, for the benefit of this league, that they got lights, say, 10 years early. So we're going to change some lineups. We want everybody who's good in the lineup. So Babe Ruth and Alan Trammell, well, they will get their rest tomorrow. But right now, they got to win a game today. The Deadballers representing the 1900s. You get 28 players from your respective era. The Sultans are the 1920s team. And then there was a Travelers draft. Each team could pick players from any era to be on their team. They're called Travelers. And then there was a 5-round draft for fringe players. Except in this league, the fringe players are pretty good. So here's your lineup for the Deadballers. You got Wagner, Lajoie, Wallace, Snyder, Goldschmidt, Delgado, Flick, Porter, and Jimmy Sheckard. And Rixey will be the starter for the Sultans. Their defensive lineup you see there. Giles, Wilson, Roof in the outfield, Parrish, Clift, Trammell, Hornsby. I take that back. Parrish is catching, and the infield is Clift, Trammell, Hornsby, and Memphis Bill Terry. Rixey, 478, 11 and 13. His whip, 1492. Wagner leads off, 307, 11 homers. I take that back. He had 11 triples, 20 home runs, 72 RBIs, 44 stolen bases, and OPS at 874. Corners play in. They expect the bunt out of Wagner, but instead he hits a pop fly, which Wilson makes the catch. 4, and that is out number 1. We'll give you the pitcher profiles in the second inning. Nap Lajoie, 345, 11 homers, 56 RBIs, 5 stolen bases, OPS at 932. This is skied to left. Giles at the wall makes the play. 2 outs now for Bobby Wallace. 247, 10 homers, 79 RBIs, 10 stolen bases. His OPS is a 677. Rixey deals, base hit, and Wallace scoots in the second with double number 26 this season. This is game 154 for each team. Duke Snyder, a Traveler, 234, 29 homers, 77 RBIs. His OPS 746, and he'll try to get an RBI here off of Rixey, who could go 150 pitches, and so can Rue Waddell, the Deadballers pitcher. And this is a base hit. We'll watch Wallace. He's in there safely. Snyder goes into second. And we have a 1-0 game, Deadballers leading. If both teams get the same results, the Sultans and the Explorers, we have a playoff with 1 day's rest. It'll be a 1-game playoff at Ebbets Field. That is, if both teams get the same result. If one team wins, the other team loses, then that team gets the fourth playoff spot. Goldschmidt, Paul Goldschmidt, 244, 17 homers, 58 RBIs, 699 OPS. He's been with Arizona, St. Louis Cardinals, and most notably now, the New York Yankees. 2 outs, and a walk is going to put Goldschmidt at first base. Carlos Delgado, a traveler, 218, 7 homers, 20 RBIs. He's only had 165 at bats, and his OPS is 661. And that's a K, and that retires the side. Rube Waddell, the pitcher, 306, 13 and 11, and a whip of 1289. And he's going to be looking at this lineup for the Sultans. You see it there. A few travelers on this squad, too. The Bambino in the 5 hole. But he's got good hitters in front of him. Rogers, Hornsby, Hack Williams, and Bill Terry behind him. Tim Salmon is a traveler. He DHs for the Sultans. And here is, whoops, I'm showing you the defense that I've showed you already. Here is the defensive lineup for the Deadballers. Waddell pitching, Sheckard, Snyder, Flick, Porter catching, Wallace, Wagner, Lajoie, and Goldschmidt, a 10 first baseman. So Cliff leads off. Not really a threat to bunt with that 7 rating, but let's try it. And it's an error, a throwing error on Rube Waddell, and that had good gumption. So the E1 puts Cliff at first base. And do I want to send in the man? Yes, I do. Oh, he's out at second base. Caught stealing there. Porter, a 6-arm, got it done. And Giles, all to his lonesome with a 0-1 count. 270, 5 homers, 21 RBIs, 4 stolen bases, OPS 770. Grounder to third. That's a base hit. Wallace had no play. So Rogers Hornsby now up 322. 29 homers, 104 runs batted in, 11 stolen bases, OPS at 969. That's up the middle, a base hit, and that moves Giles to second. Hack Wilson, 307, 32 homers, 121 RBIs, OPS at 1008. Runners at first and second. Let's see if the Sultans can stay out of the double play. Oh, a line drive right to Honus for out number 2, bringing up the Bambino. 319, 43 home runs, 124 RBIs. Could steal bases. He's got 11 of them, and his OPS at 1062. I believe he was leading the league at last glance. And that's a walk, so the bases are full of Sultans. For Bill Terry, 303, 9 homers, 77 RBIs, OPS 774. This is popped up, and Snyder gets to that play. So the Sultans get nothing and will have to like it. And we go to the second. Light rain falling at Ebbets Field, I should point out. 74 degrees, the wind coming in a little bit from center. A good hitting park if you are a lefty home run hitter. But otherwise, it's a bit of a pitcher's park. Elmer Flick, 258, has seen 155 at-bats. 4 homers, 22 RBIs, 7 stolen bases. His OPS 696. And is he going to bunt? No, he hits it fully, and it went to Giles for the first out. Darrell Porter, 243, 15 homers, 50 RBIs. OPS 688. He has 3 stolen bases. And that's a base hit to right, and the roof collects that. Jimmy Sheckard in left field, the number 9 hitter, 211, 5 homers, 34 RBIs. His OPS at 555. Sky to left, and Giles making the play for out number 2. Back to the top of the order, and Honus Wagner, who is 0 for 1, hitting 307. And I forgot to do the profile for Eparitsky. We'll do the profile for both at the same time. Inning and a half gone by, score 1-0. So let's show you Eparitsky's game logs. Because he can go 150, but the most he has ever pitched in a game is 135. Won some, lost some. His last start was against these very same Deadballers, a 3-1 loss. Went the distance, pitched 120 pitches. Let's also show you the profile on Rube Waddell. His last start against the Sultans was a 3-1 win. Won the game, struck out 12. He's had a couple of shutouts. He had back-to-back shutouts in May against the Explorers and the Wings. So Tim Salmon now up 255 on the year, 17 homers, 81 RBIs. His OPS at 766. Also has no stolen bases. That was a fly to center, and Snyder collects that. Alan Trammell, 258, 14 home runs, 66 RBIs, 11 stolen bases, OPS of 737. That hits him, so he will be awarded first base. Crowd seems to think it was intentional. I don't share the same point of view. And Lance Parrish, your number 9 hitter for the Sultans, so everybody has batted once now, 259, 20 homers, 74 RBIs, 2 stolen bases, OPS 745. That's K for Waddell, his first of the game, bringing up Harlan Clift, 0 for 1, hitting 239. And Trammell in there with stolen base number 12, so a base hit might bring him in, the count 0-1. That's a base hit. Trammell does indeed score, and we're tied 1-1. Clift now at first base. He's being held. Giles 1 for 1 today, 274. Wagner fumbles. The grounder going his way. Everybody moves up a base. That is error number 2 for the Deadballers. Bringing up the Raja. Rogers Hornsby 1 for 1 today, 323. This is hit well to center. Snyder at the wall makes the play. Side retired, but the Sultans tie it up at 1-1. So we go to Nap Lajoie. Or Nap, yeah, that's the correct pronunciation of his name, according to Tommy Lee Jones in that Cobb movie. Lajoie is 0 for 1, hitting 344. Popped up to left. A good line drive, but Giles was able to the task. First out. Bobby Wallace, 1 for 1, 249, the old St. Louis Brown. Grounder to second, over to Terry for the second out, and now back to the Duke. 1 for 1, 236, my mom's favorite player. And Snyder hits that to left. A poor play by Clift at third allowed that to happen. Also a favorite of Rays announcer Dwayne Stats, I should point out. Read that in his book. Position to win. Goldschmidt 244, 17 homers, 58 RBIs. Well, we've given you the story on Goldie. He walked in the first. 2 outs in the top of the third, and that's a walk. Ritzky now with 2 walks, and that is 64 on the season. He puts the ball in play. Doesn't get a lot of walks, doesn't get a lot of strikeouts. So we go to Carlos Delgado, the lefty, 217, 0 for 1 and a K today. Grounder, right by Hornsby. That will score Snyder. Delgado with a single. That is RBI 21 for him, and we have a 2-1 lead, Deadballers. Now, Elmer Flick can add to that. 0 for 1, 256 on the season. Trammell, Hornsby, side retired at the force at second. So the Deadballers back on top with a 2-1 lead. We go to Hack Wilson, who is 0 for 1, hitting 306. Sultans got to get their bats going. If they lose, they got to hope that the Explorers lose today. 0 for 1, 306. We'll have that game a little later on in this video. Grounder third, Wallace, Goldschmidt, 1 out. Back to the Babe, 319, 43 homers, 124 RBIs. But we told you that earlier, and he walked in the first inning to load the bases. Hit the center, Snyder there, out number 2. Bill Terry 0 for 1, 302. This is skied to right center, and Snyder with a great play to retire the side. After 3, 2-1 Deadballers. Ritzky has gone 61 pitches, Waddell 47. They can each go 150. 252 for the Deadballers, 5 men left on. Sultans are 1-3-0, 5 men left on. Daryl Porter, 1 for 1, 245. And there's a K for Porter. And Ritzky collects his second. Jimmy Sheckard, 211, 0 for 1 today. Sky to left, and Giles really didn't have to move too much for the second out. Honus Wagner, we go back to the top of the order a third time. 0 for 2, 306. Hit well to left, but Giles should have that and does. 3.5 gone by, 2-1, Deadballers. Tim Salmon, 0 for 1, hitting 255. Grounder third, no, and went over Wallace's head for a base hit, a poor play. And Salmon has collected double number 32 on the season. Alan Trammell, hit by a pitch earlier, 258. Hit well to left center, Sheckard making the play. Salmon has to hold at second. Lance Parrish, 0 for 1, struck out earlier, 259. Base hit, we'll watch Salmon. He's out at the plate. A good throw. Gets him. We'll see who that throw was by. Looks like it was by Jimmy Sheckard. Just a bullet to home plate for the second out. And Harlan Clift is up as we go through the lineup a third time for the Sultans, even though it's only the fourth inning. Batted in first, batted in second. Now he's batted in the fourth. 1 for 2, a ribby, 241. That's K number 2 for Rube Waddell. So we have played 4 innings, as I do my little OPS check, and your score is still 2-1, Deadballers. Nat Blageway batting for the Deadballers in the top of the fifth. He is 0 for 2 today. 343 is his average, and that is lazy high fly to right, and Roof collects it for the first out. Bobby Wallace, 1 for 2, a double today, 248. Clift playing in, but it's a walk for Bobby Wallace. Rixie is at 80 pitches out of 150, so he may be needing relief here as we head to the fifth inning. We're in the fifth inning, top of the fifth, 1 out. Duke Snyder, 2 for 2, 237. He ribbied earlier, throw to first. Out is the call, and Wallace got caught off base. So there's your second out. And no count yet to Duke Snyder. Which goes to 0-2, and Risky with the punch out. Halfway home, 2-1, and stay tuned. We have another game for you. Explorers at the Spirits at the Houston Astrodome. Brian Giles, 1 for 2, hitting 273. Wallace, Goldschmidt, out number 1. Rogers Hornsby, 323 on the season, 1 for 2 today. Wagner collecting that over to Goldschmidt for out number 2. Hack Wilson is 0 for 2, 305 is his average at the moment. That is K number 3 for Rube Waddell, and after 5, it is 2-1 Deadballers still. We haven't had a run since the top of the third. Paul Goldschmidt, 2 walks today, still hitting that 244. Clift, Terry, out number 1. Carlos Delgado, 1 for 2, a ribby and a K, 222. Third baseman was playing in, and Giles could not make the play. No, he bobbled it, and then he caught it. See the third base umpire giving the out signal, so that was a second out. And Elmer Flick, 0 for 2, 255. Hit to right to Babe Ruth. So after 5.5, we're still at a 2-1 score. A little bit of light rain, still falling. 69 degrees is your weather now, and the wind in at 3 miles per hour. So the Bambino up 0 for 1, walked earlier, 319. Hit to center, right to Snyder, 1 out. Bill Terry, Memphis Bill is 0 for 2 today, hitting 302. Had a couple of seasons where he hit 400 in the 30s. Hit well to right. Flick will get to it, though, and that's out number 2. Tim Salmon, 1 for 2 in a double, 256 on the season. that is about to end, and Salmon walks to first base, picking up Alan Trammell. Sultans need a run here, big time. Hit by a pitch earlier, 0 for 1 today, 257. And Waddell made the ground ball collection over to first, side retired after 6. It's 2-1. So Daryl Porter, as the Deadballers trying to play spoiler here, as we go into the latter innings, 7th inning. Porter is 1 for 2, 244 today. Grounder. Oh, Hornsby could not make the handle. That is his 42nd error. So he's making about one every 4 games, and Porter goes to first. That is the first error for the Sultans today. Jimmy Sheckard, 0 for 2, 210. Sheckard, a ground ball and a base hit. So Porter is going to move to second. Now the Deadballers with a threat. Nobody out in the top of the 7th as we go back to the top of the order for the 4th time for the Deadballers, and Honus Wagner could deliver a key hit here. He is 0 for 3, 306 on the season. It's a bunt. They get Porter at third, so we have runners at first and second, but they have changed. It's now Sheckard at second and Wagner at first for Nap Lajoie, who is 0 for 3, 341. Hit well to left. Giles should get to that. He's going to be close to the wall, though, and he collects the second out. Sheckard moving to third. So runners at the corners for Bobby Wallace. See the organist getting ready for Tick Me Out to the ball game. 1 for 2 is Wallace, a walk and a double. He's now up to 248. Hit to right. Roof will get to that. Side retired. So here's your story after 6.5. It's the Deadballers 2-1 leaders over the Sultans. The Sultans need a win to, at the very least, as I try to hold a cough here, folks, hang on a minute. They need a win at the very least to host a playoff game, but they don't have it yet. If the Sultans lose and the Explorers win, see, I got another cough here, folks. Sorry, folks. If the Sultans win, they have to hope that the Explorers don't win. If each team gets the same result, we have a playoff at Ebbets Field after a one-day rest. If one team wins, the other team loses, then that team is the 4 seed, and we will start the playoffs with our next edition early next week. Lance Parrish, 1 for 2, hitting 261. That cough just caught me by surprise there. And Waddell has his 4th K. He's up to 209 on the season. Clift, 1 for 3, a ribeye. And a K as we go to the top of the order for the 4th time for the Sultans, who've been held in check most of the game. Oh, and that's going to go to the wall. That went over Wallace, and Clift has double number 30 of the season. Ryan Giles is 1 for 3. Hitting 271. Oh, and that's a line drive. It goes to Fleck, but it hit the ground. It hit the ground before it got to Fleck. So Clift moved to third base. He had to wait to see the disposition of what happened in right. So runners at the corners, 1 out for the Rogers Hornsby. A 6 bunter, and he is 1 for 3, hitting 322. It's going to be a bunt, and that is going to score the runner at third. So we have a 2-2 tie. They got an out at second. The old squeeze play has tied the game. We will show you the replay of that. It was Harlan Clift. Giles was out at second. Hornsby goes to first. And then you got Hack Wilson up 0 for 3 and a K today. He is hitting 305. So the old Don Zimmer bunt play works to perfection. A safety squeeze. We'll see what happens here now. That's a base hit. Snyder collects it. Hornsby goes to third. Waddell at 103 pitches. Risky is at 104. Risky. Rixie. Babe Ruth, a big moment for him. 0 for 2, a walk, hitting 318. 2 outs. Situation the Bambino was born for. There'll be a conference between Waddell and Porter. Hit well, right center field, but Flick's going to get to that and the side's retired. So we go to the 8th, but we have a tie score now at 2-2. Duke Snyder batting first in the 8th. For the Deadballers, 2 for 3, 237. He ribeyed earlier and struck out. Hornsby, Terry, first out. Rixie has not done too terribly. 7 1/3 innings, 2 earned runs, 6 hits, 3 walks, 3 Ks. Goldschmidt is 0 for 1, 2 walks today, 244 on the season. Trammell, Terry, second out. Carlos Delgado, 1 for 3, 220. That's a base hit to right, and Roof collecting that. Elmer Flick has a 9-game hitting streak, but he is yet to get a hit today. 0 for 3, 253 is his current average. Rixie over to Terry, side retired, so that streak's in jeopardy. 7.5 now gone by with a 2-2 score. Bill Terry 0 for 3, hitting 301. Grounder, base hit. And now the wheels will turn for the Sultans as Max Carey is going to come in to pinch run. So Tim Salmon up for the 4th time. He had a walk earlier, doubled. 1 for 2, hitting 256. Not going to ask Carey to steal second. In fact, they throw a pickoff play at first, which Carey gets back for. Soft line drive to Wallace for the first out. Now you want to stay out of the double play. As Trammell is up 0 for 2, 257. We're going to do a hit and run here. Runner was moving, and they could only get the out at first. Waddell to Goldschmidt. Waddell at 111 pitches. Risky is at 116. Parrish, 1 for 3, the number 9 hitter. 2 Ks, 260. But a base hit here could be monumental for the Sultans' playoff chances. Wallace, Goldschmidt, side retired. We'll go to the 9th. 2-2. We'll need a player to play first base, and that will be Todd Helton, another traveler. He is the best out there among the first basemen. He is a 9 first baseman with a fielding percentage at .995. Darrell Porter up 1 for 3, a K, hitting 244. It hit him. So Porter, in fact, he has been injured, so Topsy Hartzell comes in the pinch run at first base, which probably would have happened anyway. Jimmy Sheckard, 1 for 3, hitting 212. Number 9 hitter for the Deadballers. A bunt. They get the runner at second, so Sheckard is going to be the replacement at first base. 5th time through the lineup for the Deadballers. Risky is at 120 pitches. Wagner 0 for 4, 305. A key base hit. Wright collects it, and Sheckard scoots to third. So it's up to Nat Lajoie with 1 out. I'm going to bring my infield halfway. Lajoie is 0 for 4, hitting 340. Trammell gets to play at home. No, he does not. He does not. The runner was safe. Well, look at the replay. It was checkered. Just beating the throw to home by Trammell. So there's still one out. And Bobby Wallace is up 1 for 3, hitting 248. And now the Deadballers have a 3-2 lead here in the ninth. Base hit. Wagner scores 4-2. And there's not a lot of joy in that Sultans dugout now. Drew Snyder, 2 for 4. Aribi, Ake, hitting 236. Hornsby gets the force at second for the second out. So runners at the corners again for Paul Goldschmidt. They're going to stick with Rixey. They figure you got us this far. We might as well just try to finish out the game. Goldschmidt 0 for 2, 2 walks, 243. I think if they get another hit, that'll be it for Rixky. And I'll maybe get a chance to pronounce his name right. And, oh! A cheap hit for Goldschmidt that hit the Bermuda Triangle and allowed a runner to score. Let's watch that again. Yeah, it just got between Cliff, Trammell, and Giles. And it's 5-2. That's going to be it for Rixey. Carlos Delgado up. Herb Panic will be summoned for the lefty-on-lefty matchup. Panic, 21 innings pitched this season, 429. Whip of 1476. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. The Deadballers have rallied for 3 in the ninth. Delgado 2 for 4, 225. This is going to be caught by Roof, so the Sultans got to get busy here. They need 3 to tie at the very least with the score 5-2. Pinch hitter here for Clift. Waddell a lefty, so we'll put a righty in. And that's going to be Harry Heilman. Heilman this year, 333, 159 at bats, 6 homers, 35 RBIs, no stolen bases, and OPS of 926. See what the Detroit Tiger can do. Popped it up. Wagner's going to get to that for the first out. Ryan Giles, 2 for 4, 275. Foul ball. So management sticking with Giles. That is K number 5. Rube Waddell out away from going the distance. He is in no danger right now of going to his pitch limit. He's at 121, looking for his 14th win of the season. And Rogers Hornsby, standing in his way. 1 for 4, a ribby, and 322 is his average. A walk. You got 3 good hitters here coming up for the Sultans, the first being Hornsby. Now you got Hack Wilson. 1 for 4 and a K, 306. Grounder. Wagner to Lajoie for the force, and the Sultans are beaten by the Deadballers 5-2. Root Waddell took MVP honors. So I will come back on and say hello to you all. Big Paulie on this Saturday, the 27th of June. A week shy of our 250th birthday here in the United States. So we have one more game left to play, so don't go anywhere. And it's going to be the Explorers taking on the Spirits at the Houston Astrodome. Now that the Sultans have lost and to go to 78-76, the Explorers only need to win at the very least. So it's going to be Dave McAnally against Jim Palmer, 60s against the 70s squads. See the lineup there for the Spirits with Jim Tomei in there. In fact, we're going to go with somebody else. We're going to put Mags Ordonez in. Traveler. He will be the DH. Reggie Jackson bats ninth in this lineup. Oh, well. Explorers, great defenders. You see their final lineup. And off we go to the Astrodome. Pitching for Spirits, Jim Palmer, 12 and 12, 473, a whip of 1493. Got rocked a little bit, despite the fact that he's playing at a pitcher's park here at the Astrodome. Here's the lineup for the Explorers, mainly 60s players, with the exception of Vladimir Guerrero, who hit 4 homers in one game earlier in the season. And that was duplicated by Mark McGwire in a game we did earlier in the season. And here is the defense for the 70 Spirits. Palmer can go 140 pitches. McAnally, another Baltimore Oriole, could go 125. Mazeroski, 273. Famous for hitting that homer to win the 1960 series for the Pirates over the Yankees. 10 homers, 67 RBIs, 3 stolen bases. OBS at 668. He's not there for his hitting. It's there for his glove. Hit to right to Reggie Jackson for the first out. Roberto Clemente, 275, 6 homers, 32 RBIs, OPS at 673. That's a walk. He is aboard. Think about this Explorers team. You got a lot of good defenders. Willie Mays, 274, 27 home runs, 96 RBIs, 20 stolen bases, and OPS at 828. See if he could say, hey, that's going to be a base hit off this turf. Stargell collects, but Clemente, his fellow Pittsburgh Pirate, is over at third base. Willie McCovey, 245, 20 homers, 62 RBIs, no stolen bases, OPS 747. 1 out now. Oh, that goes by Carew and allows Clemente to score, so it's 1-0 Explorers, and the bench showing a little bit of excitement as Vlad Guerrero, who's only had 304 at-bats this season, is up 286, 14 homers, 47 RBIs, 4 stolen bases, OPS at 789. That is K number 1 for Jim Palmer. Carl Yastrzemski, 206, with only 107 at-bats, 3 homers, 8 RBIs, OPS at 582. He has stolen 3 bases. That's a walk, so Palmer in some early trouble. Already 27 pitches this inning, and he's not out of the first yet. Manny Machado, another traveler on this Explorers squad, 233, 12 homers, 55 RBI. Hit well to left. Stargell should get to it, and he does. Side retired, but the Explorers pick up the run in the top of the first to take a 1-0 lead. Let's show you the lineup for the Spirits. Got some travelers on this team, too. Noma, Garcia-Pera, Maglio Adornez. And here is the defensive lineup for the Explorers. McAnally. I'll show you his numbers, and we'll do a deeper profile in the second inning of the pitchers. McAnally is 451. 10 and 14. His whip is 1497. Trying to get a big win here that would put them in the playoffs. The Explorers, that is. Carew is leading off, 228. Corner's playing in, suggesting that there might be a bunt, but I'm going to swing away. That's a walk, and Carew is aboard. I play as the home team. Don't make a lot of decisions, but sometimes I will indulge myself. Nomar Garcia-Parra, 263, 17 homers, 68 RBIs, 6 stolen bases, OPS 740. Grounder to first. McCovey will step on the bag for the second out. Steve Garvey, who should be senator of the great state of California, but isn't. 228, 197 at-bats, 5 homers, 19 RBIs, OPS at 581, stole no bases. Popped up, and that will be foul, and the count goes full 3-2. That is strike three. So with 2 outs now, it's Mike Schmidt. Michael Jack, 218, 25 homers, 67 RBIs, 12 stolen bases, and OPS at 751. If I do another season, I got to find a home for the Spirits. That's a base hit. And Carew scores, and we have a 1-1 tie. Mags Ordonez, only 29 at bats, but he's hit 345, 2 homers, 3 RBIs, OPS at 1043. That's a base hit. Clemente collects Schmidt the third. With runners at the corners, it's Pops. Willie Stargell, 226, 26 homers, 76 RBIs, OPS at 728. Maybe Atlanta Fulton County Stadium's where I would move them. McCovey to McNally covering first base. So we have each team scoring a run in the first, collecting 2 hits, and it is 1-1. So here's the story on Jim Palmer and his season. Made the Hall of Fame 1990 and then came out of retirement and pitched in spring training in the early 90s for the Palmer, for the Palmer, yeah, for the Orioles before he re-retired. Not much to write home about. He was injured May 27th against the Sultans, but made his next start. His last start was an 8-5 win over the Explorers where he went the distance. So Ron Santo, 182 and 77 at bats, 1 homer, 10 RBIs. OPS at 541. Grounder third, Schmidt, Garvey, 1 out. Elston Howard, 243, 3 homers, 36 RBIs, OPS at 594. Line shot to left, a base hit, puts him on. And we go back to the top of the order, and Bill Mazeroski, who was 0 for 1, second time through the lineup for the Explorers, hitting 272. Palmer at 33 pitches now. That's a base hit. Everybody moving up a base, so the conga line continues for the Explorers. Roberto Clemente, 275. Did not get an at-bat in the first inning because he walked. That is well hit, a base hit. Lynn collecting the slow grounder in the right center. A run scores, 2-1. Let's see who got it. It was Elston Howard. Yeah, I know. We got a bunch of Mike Schmidts in the lineup. And it's 2-1 Explorers. And Willie Mays is up for them, 1 for 1, 275. So we had at least 1 run every inning. In fact, 1 run exactly. 1 out. Line drive right back to Schmidt. Willie McCovey, 1 for 1, a ribby, 246. That's going to be a base hit. In comes Mazeroski, in comes Clemente, and McCovey has a triple. That is number 8 for him this season. 2 more runs score, 4-1 Explorers. So we go to Vlad the Impaler Guerrero, 0 for 1, a K, hitting 285. This is hit to center, and Lynn makes the put out to retire the side. So 3 runs score for the Explorers, and it's 4-1. We have yet to have an inning where nobody has scored. Freddie Lynn, 256, 8 homers, 52 RBIs, OPS at 676, and he stole 7 bases. That's K number 2 for Dave McAnally, bringing up Johnny Bench, 246, 17 homers, 52 RBIs, OPS 716. He's stolen 2 bases, and he can hold 6 balls in his hand, 6 baseballs. Foul ball, count is 0-2. Base hit to left, and Bench goes to second, collecting double number 18 for him this season. Reggie Jackson, Mr. October, has not had October-like numbers for the Spirits. 234, 18 homers, 70 RBIs, 14 stolen bases, and an OPS at 700 exactly. Pop to center. Millie Mays making a great play. And with 2 outs, we go back to the top of the order, and Rod Carew, 228, walked the first inning. That's a base hit. We'll watch Bench. He's in there, 4-2. So Carew with RBI number 17 this season. He is at first base, a 9 base runner. and McNally will hold them. So we still have yet to have an inning where nobody has scored, which is kind of rare for the Astrodome. Usually plays as a uber pitcher's park. Garcia Parrott is 0 for 1, 262. Machado, McCovey, side retired. We go to the top of the third. It's 4-2 Explorers, who play their games at Dodger Stadium. So if they win today, they will get the Futurists in one of our 2 semifinal series, and our next video will be the 2 first games. Carl Yastrzemski, 206, walked in the first inning to load the bases for the Explorers. That's a pop-up, and Johnny Bench didn't even have to move too much. Made the put out for the first out. Manny Machado is 0 for 1, 233. Hit well to center, off the wall, and Machado's got his 24th double of the year. Rod Santo, 0 for 1, hitting 179. Garcia Parra to Garvey, out number 2. Elston Howard, 1 for 1, 244. Rocketed to left center. Lynn making the put out, and finally we have a goose egg on the board in the top of the third. Bottom of the third we go, 4-2 Explorers. Steve Garvey, 0 for 1. A K earlier, 227. And the father of our country hits a pop fly to Mays for the first out. Tommy Lasorda put that moniker on him because there was stories coming out in the 80s that Garvey had a lot of ladies, shall we say. Mike Schmidt, 1 for 1, 220. An RBI earlier. Hit well to left. Yastrzemski, out number 2. Imagine this team with all the offense it has in Atlanta, Fulton County Stadium, where Hank Aaron hit his 715th home run in April of 74. Ordonez, 367 now, 1 for 1. And Mags hits this to left, and we have back-to-back goose egg innings. And after 3, it is 4-2 Explorers. If they win, they get the final playoff spot. If they lose, they will go to Ebbets Field and play the Sultans to determine the last team after a one-day rest. Bill Mazeroski, 1 for 2, 273. That's a base hit up the middle. Mazeroski aboard. Roberto Clemente, his fellow Pittsburgh Pirate, 1 for 1, walked, doubled, and got a ribeye, hitting 277. Hit well to center, but Lynn makes the play just at the edge of the warning track. Willie Mays, 1 for 2, 275. Soft line drive right to Garcia Parra. Willie McCovey is 2 for 2 and a triple. Had 3 RBIs already. Go to 65 on the season. He's hitting 248 now. Oh, that's hit well to right. And Jackson, it bounces off the wall. And McCovey's got triple number 2 today. Runner scored in front of him. And it is 5-2 Explorers. So we might see a relief pitcher here. Yes, Andy Messersmith is going to relieve Jim Palmer. An early trip to the showers for Jim, 3 2/3 innings, 5 runs, all earned, 9 hits, 2 walks, and 1 K. Messersmith comes in, 743, 1-0, 1761. There was an out there, which I didn't catch. What happened? Oh, Guerrero grounded out. Okay, so, bottom of the fourth, 5-2 is your score. Billy Stargell, 0 for 1, 226 on the season that is about to end. That's a walk. Nelly could go 125 pitches, as I think we mentioned earlier. Messersmith, who just came in the game, can go 70. When he played for the Atlanta Braves, instead of the Braves uniform having Messersmith 17 on it, he wore number 17, it said Channel 17, because that was the infancy of TBS, WTBS in Atlanta. Fred Lynn, not Fred Smith, 0 for 1, a K, 256. Grounder, base hit, gets by Mazeroski, and Stargell will move to third on the double, and that is double 28 for Fred Lynn. Johnny Bench, 1 for 1, a double, hitting .247. Hit the center. We'll watch Stargell. He comes in. Oh, he's out at the plate. Double play there. Good throw by Willie Mays on that 10 arm of his. So the Spirits cannot score. It stays 5-2 with 2 outs for Reggie Jackson, 0 for 1, hitting .234. Mazeroski with the play over to McCovey, side retired. We go to the 5th with the 5-2 score. Explorers, if they could hold that result, will make the playoffs. They will clinch the 4th and final playoff spot. Carl Yastrzemski is 0 for 1, a walk, hitting .204. That's a walk. Yastrzemski on at first base. For Manny Machado, 1 for 2 and a double. Schmidt, Carew, Garvey, double play, the 5-4-3 variety. So Ron Santo is up for the Explorers, now down to 177, 0 for 2 today. That is a walk. Elston Howard is 1 for 2, hitting .244. Carew with the ground ball over to Garvey. Side retired. Bottom of the 5th, it's 5-2. Carew, 1 for 3. I'm sorry, he's 1 for 1. He walked in the first and got a hit in the second. Corners in, they expect a bunt, but why would you bunt here with the 5-2 score? That's a walk, so Carew will get on base. Not really holding him all the well. He's a threat to run, but you don't run 3 runs down in the bottom of the 5th. Noma, 0 for 2, 262. He's in there. Carew, stolen base number 14. Nomar Garcia-Pera still up with a 1-0 count. Base hit, and Carew holds at third, which was kind of an interesting decision, but they don't want to test the arm of Willie Mays. He says, you already thrown out a runner at the plate today. Steve Garvey, 0 for 2, 226, a K earlier. Home run here would be nice. Soft line drive, a web gem by Manny Machado in center. And now it's up to Mike Schmidt, 1 for 2, an RBI, 220, 500 plus career home runs for Michael Jack. Machado to Mazeroski for the force, but a run scores. It was Carew's, so that was the second out. 5-3, your new score. Mags Ordonez at 1 for 2 now, 355. And Michael Schmidt with his 13th stolen base of the season. So the Spirits making noise in the bottom of the 5th. Ordonez is 1 for 2, 355. I might have said that already, and it's an 0-1 count to him. Little roller to first. McCovey steps on it. Side retired. We go to the 6th, 5-3, Explorers. Mazeroski up for the 4th time today, 2 for 3, 275. Messersmith has pitched an inning and a third, 22 pitches used up of his 70. Grounder, Carew to Garvey for out number 1. Again, if the Explorers win, they're in. If they lose, we'll have a playoff game between the Explorers and the Sultans on our next edition of the Time Travel League. Roberto Clemente, 1 for 2. He doubled and walked, but drove in an RBI. He's at 276. Full count, and a base hit to left. Carew at second. I take that back. What happened to Carew? Oh! What happened to Carew? He should be on base. Oh, well. Willie Mays is 1 for 3. Maybe he got hit. Well, let's just look at this again, and it'll be clear. Oh, we changed innings. There was an out earlier. I just look at what happened and see what happened. We're in the top of the 6th. Mazeroski ground out to second for the first out, and Clemente just got the single. Okay, that's what happened. I think I said Carew when Carew's on the other team. Well, Mays 1 for 3, 274. So we figured out that mystery. A 3-1 count, and that's ball 4. So Clemente at second, Mays at first for Willie McCovey. 3 for 3, 2 triples and 4 RBIs. Hit well to right, but Jackson's going to get to that for the second out. I think I just lost track of the outs. Vlad Guerrero 0 for 3, a K, 283. Schmidt to Carew for the fourth, side retired. So the Spirits, who got a run in the bottom of the fifth, come back again to bat in the sixth, trailing 5-3. Let's see if they can carry that momentum over. McAnally to Stargell. Stargell is 0 for 1 and a walk. Grounder, McCovey, 1 out. Fred Lynn, 1 for 2, 258. K number 3 for Dave. He's up to 98 pitches out of 125. Johnny Bench, 1 for 2 and a double. Base hit, right center. So we go to Reggie Jackson, who is 0 for 2 today, hitting 233. K number 4 for Dave McAnally retires the side. We go to the top of the seventh, 5-3 Explorers. Carl Yastrzemski up 1 for 2, 0 for 1 and a double. Hitting now 204. Bruce Suter's going to come in and work the seventh inning. Ball 4. Suter's mark, 4.13 ERA, 4-5, 6 saves, a whip of 13.11. He's had control issues. He's walked 29 and only struck out 41. Manny Machado, 1 for 3 and a double, 234. Hit well to left. Stargell looking, and that is off the wall. Machado in with a triple, scoring a run, and it's 6-3, and that Explorer dugout is whooping it up. They are sensing that they are closer to the win that would put them in the playoffs. Ron Santo 0 for 2, 177. Ball 4. Elston Howard 1 for 3, 243. That's a base hit that'll plate Machado 7-3, and there's more jubilation on that that Explorer dugout. So with the score 7-3, Mazeroski is up 2 for 4, 274 on the season. Grounder third, Schmidt over to Garvey, and they collect that first out. Roberto Clemente 2 for 3, a walk, a double, and RBI. K number 1 for Bruce Suter, 42 on the season. And Willie Mays, as the organist is getting ready for Take Me Out to the Ball Game, 1 for 3, a walk, hitting 274. Hit well to center, very well to center, and that is gone. A home run for Willie Mays, and the Explorers bust the game open with 5 in the seventh to take a 10-3 lead. Mays being congratulated by the Explorer dugout. His 28th home run, and RBI is 97, 98, and 99. He might end the year one short of 100, but that home run was crucial. A big blow, and I am going to put somebody in for Suter. Someone good against lefties. He's going to be Nolan Ryan. Is going to come in. Now, amazingly, Ryan has only pitched 1 inning the whole season. His ERA is 0. His whip is 1. So McCovey is up 3 for 4, 2 triples, 4 RBIs. Hit to right center. Jackson with the play. Side retired. And I don't hear Take Me Out to the Ball Game playing, so we will just play on. So the Spirits with a lot of work to do now, trailing by a touchdown at 10-3. Carew is 1 for 1 on the day, hitting 232. Up the middle, Mazeroski with a super play over the McCovey for the first out. Nomar Garcia-Parra is 1 for 3. Grounder first, McCovey steps on the bag. Second out, so the Explorers now just 7 outs away from a playoff berth. Garvey 0 for 3, 225. That's a base hit right center. Michael Schmidt 1 for 3, 2 RBIs earlier, 219. That's hit well to left. Yastrzemski's just going to watch it go, and it's 10-5. And Ron Peronowski is going to come on and pitch for the Explorers. The lefty reliever has pitched 93 in the third innings. 6 and 7, 12 saves, a 4.24 batting ERA, not a batting average. And his whip is 17.36. Ordonez, 1 for 3, 344. Grounder to Santo, over to McCovey, and the side is retired. After 7, it's a 10-5 game. Explorers leading. And here's Vlad Guerrero, 0 for 4 and a K, hitting 282. That's hit well to right center, but Lynn making the play for the first out. Carl Yastrzemski, 0 for 1, 3 walks, hitting 204. That's hit well to right center. Lynn getting to that one, too. 2 outs. Manny Machado, 2 for 4, 235, a double and a triple, and an RBI earlier. That's a walk. Only the second Nolan Ryan has issued. Bringing up Ron Santo, 0 for 2, 2 walks, 177, and that's K for Nolan. So the Explorers could not score in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 10-5. Explorers leading. If they win, they go to the playoffs, and the Sultans will be 1 game away. Willie Stargell, 0 for 2 and a walk, hitting 225. I'm going to go for a pinch hitter here. Look for a righty. It's going to be Dick Allen. Allen, 267, 24 homers, 70 RBIs, 9 stolen bases, hit 881 in a pitcher's park. Mazeroski to McCovey for the first out. Fred Lynn, 257, 1 for 3 today, a double and 2 strikeouts. Hit to right. Clemente will get to that with ease. Johnny Bench up, 2 for 3, a double, 248. Base hit for Bench. That brings up Reggie Jackson. And again, the Spirits are going to go to a right-handed bat, which is going to come in the person of, let's see here, against lefties, OPS lefties, Bonds is 845, but Hanley Ramirez is 883. You know what? We're going to go with neither. We're going to put Ken Singleton in. .269 as Singleton. 3 homers, 14 RBIs, and 145 at bats. No stolen bases. And he's hitting .760 as OPS is. That's a base hit. Bench will go to third. Rod Carew up, 1 for 2 on the day. 2 walks, hitting .230. And that's a soft line drive to Mazeroski, side retired. We go to the 9th. Score is 10-5. Ryan could go 80 pitches, 1 on the third, walk and a K. Now facing Elston Howard, 2 for 4 and an RBI earlier. 245 is his average. That's K number 2 for the Ryan Express. Bill Mazeroski, 2 for 5, 274. Nomar with a great play over to Garvey for the second out. Clemente, 2 for 4, a walk, a double, an RBI, and a K, 277. That's K number 3 for Ryan. So now the Explorers have to get 3 outs to clinch that last playoff spot. Head to the bottom of the 9th with the score 10-3. 10-5, I beg your pardon. Garcia Parra, 1 for 4, 263. Santo to McCovey for the first out. We have Steve Garvey up, 1 for 4 and a K, 229. That's a base hit. And now Schmidt is up, 2 for 4, 221. Homered and has 4 RBIs today. That's a walk. So how long they're going to stick with Peronoski here, we will see. Maglio Ordonez, 1 for 4, 333. That's K number 1 for Peronoski, and now all they need is 1 out. Stick Allen, 0 for 1, 267. Last chance for the Spirits. Base hit. We'll watch Garvey. He scores. 10-6. So if Lynn can get on, you see 256, 1 for 4 today. I'm going to a pinch hitter again. And we're going to bring in Thurman Munson. 292 is Munson. 72 at bats, 3 homers, 12 RBIs, OPS at 778. That's going to be a base hit. We watch Schmidt. He scores 10-7. Tying run is Johnny Bench. 3 for 4 and a double. 250 on the year. We're going to leave him in. Hit well to right center, but Mays makes the play and the Explorers go to the playoffs. A 10-7 win.
Willie Mays hit home run number 28 on the season. Mike Schmidt hit number 26. Time of the game, 3 hours, 45 minutes.
Willie McCovey took the MVP honors, but the big story, the Explorers go to the playoffs with a 79-75 record, 1 game better than the Sultans. So let's go through the stats and get you out of here and get you set for the playoffs. That will be our next installment here on the Big Paulie's World of Sports. What is the name of my channel? The Big Paulie's World of Sports. You'd think I would know it after 6 years, but at any rate, Bill Dickey, your batting champion at 352 for the Ironmen. Walter Johnson for the Aces had an ERA of 2.19. So he wins that title. The home run championship to Mark McGwire of the Niners at 48. Amos Brucey, we were telling you earlier, he should win the Wins Championship. He did with 22 for the Futurists, so we will see him in the playoffs. Mark McGwire also won the RBI title at 125, just 1 better than Babe Ruth. Mariano Rivera, 19 saves. Ty Cobb, 60 stolen bases. Roger Clemens, 219 strikeouts. On base percentage, Babe Ruth won that. Lefty Gomez finished the year with a 7-game win streak. Well, we have been with you now an hour and 8 minutes. Hope you enjoyed both the games. We have playoffs to do now, so we will get to that. Probably early next week, we'll do both game ones and package them together right here in one video. So this has been Big Paulie. Hope you have a good weekend. Godspeed, God bless. We'll do it all again soon. Bye-bye for now, everybody.